Pit road is closed. Jimmy Johnson was involved just a moment ago.
See, Reed Sorensen in the 41 just slips up the racetrack a little bit, gets in the left rear of the 48 car, and around he goes. And Wally, for the second time, he's spun and hasn't hit the wall.
Yeah. Very, very lucky.
And he really didn't have any damage to his car until he got going again. And then the 66 car, Jeff Green, paid him back.
He's upset from an earlier incident in which he felt Jimmy Johnson turned the 66. The 66 has been black flagged by NASCAR. Pit road is closed, but Denny Hamlin is on pit road anyway, Dave.
Bill, he needs extra time, and so the crew is going to go underneath the hood to see if they can find out what the problem specifically is. They think possibly spark plug. He'd lost 8 positions during the last run, but it remained under power. It looks like they've got a... Now they're checking the spark plugs there, and they're going to get a penalty for coming when pit road's closed, but they needed the extra time to check and see what they could find out.
But they need to get off of pit road before the pace car gets there. They do. The pit road is now open. The field is on pit road, and the 8's headed for Marty.
And now there's problems for Dale Earnhardt Jr., Bill. He said on the last 2 laps that he ran, the brake pedal went to the floor, very soft. They're going to pull off right side tires only. Everybody on that right side has a wrench. They're going to try and see if there's a leak somewhere in the brake system. We'll follow up. Alan?
Casey Kane pits 4 tires, an adjustment to the track bar, trying to help the car's front end grip. He was having trouble cutting in the corner, Dave.
The 5 car has already gone just a quarter of a turn on the track bar for an adjustment. 4 fresh tires for the leader of the race.
Wow, what a pit stop by that 5 bunch.
Marty, they continue to work on that 8 car.
And they did find the problem, the right rear brakes. So the rear brakes had no fluid in them. So they're going to try and fix that. They're going to get some fluid. They're going to come back down pit road and try and fix the brake problem. And all this while they're trying to keep him on the lead lap. Matt?
The defending series champion only has 70 laps to try to lock himself in to defend his title. They've already made, you can see Shaggy Larson, the car chief, already made the track bar adjustment. Jeff Gooch Patterson nods. The car is full of fuel. Also, huge air pressure adjustment. The car just so free for smoke.
Tony Stewart and Jeff Gordon not on the lead lap. Major developments here with less than 80 laps to go in the Chevy Rock and Roll 400 at Richmond. Kevin Harvick runs second. Casey Kane in that 9 car is third. Dave Blaney in the 22 is fourth. Mark Martin fifth. Jeff Green has been parked by NASCAR for aggressive driving after making contact with the 48 car after the caution came out on this last yellow flag. Jeff Green will have a meeting with NASCAR after this race.
There you see Stewart on the bottom. 19th spot, lap down. Where is the 8? Earnhardt Jr. back in 16th. Marty, he's the last car on the lead lap.
Yeah, and Wally, now he has no rear brakes. The right rear tire came off. Look at all this brake fluid inside the right rear tire for Dale Earnhardt Jr. That's a lot of brake fluid that they lost. So what Junior did, they changed all the tires. They cut off the rear brakes, basically. He's dialed all the front brake into the car that he can. The problem for Junior is this race car has been tight, and that's really going to affect your race car. If you dial in more front brake to a tight race car, that's not what you want to do. Dave?
Denny Hamlin in that black number 11. They pitted 3 times under this caution. The spark plug wire that was failing was melted and coming apart. They weren't able to pull it from where it was held onto the spark plug. They couldn't get the boot off. They needed a pair of pliers. So they couldn't change it. They changed 4 tires on the car, but they need another caution to get Denny down on pit road and change that plug wire.
Getting back to the 8. Right. The problem with doing that is he's going to fry those front brakes. If that's all you have is front brakes, eventually he's just going to heat those things up to where he's not going to be able to slow the car down. He's going to have to back off a lot earlier getting into the corner, and he's going to lose a lot of track position.
And you can see he's only 41 points ahead of 10th spot.
You also saw Hamlin going by him, and this is for the lead right here.
Kevin Harvick taking a look down on the bottom, where he's been good all night long, and I mean just smokes by Kyle Busch that lap. So they made some adjustments that helped that car, didn't they, Alan?
Yeah, made an air pressure adjustment, Wally, and also changed the cross weight in the car with a wedge. And Todd Berrier, after Kevin left pit road, picking up one spot from third to second, by the way, told Kevin, we've got something we can go race with right here now. Well, he's taking the lead.
Can Earnhardt's brakes last 65 laps?
If they completely shut the rears off, I would say no. I'm not sure how much they shut off in the back, but you are hard on the brakes here. You need 4, not 2.
Jeff Gordon in that 24 car runs 29th. An update from Matt.
Shocking run by the 4-time series champion, just inside the top 30 now. Gordon, they just cannot find the sweet spot of the handling for the car tonight. They go back and forth between being too free on exit or too tight in the center, but there is huge concern in the 24 pit about making this chase.
Here's the simple way to look at the points. I'm going to give you the simple way. We just need to keep that 20 as close inside as we can keep it, buddy, and we're going to be good.
That 11's got the hood up down there.
He's got motor, plug wire, something. They're fixing it. Our deal right now is the 20. We got a little cushion on that 20, so we just, I know it isn't good. I'm not going to pretend it is, man. Just do the best you can. It's going to be about 70 to go. Keep that 20 inside the best you can.
He floats between 25 and 33-point cushion in the car they keep talking about. Tony Stewart, he is all the way up in the 19th position. Neither Stewart or Gordon has led a lap to pick up those bonus points here tonight in the battle for the lead up front.
Harvick in the 29 and the 5 of Kyle Busch. We talked about it at California. Jeff Gordon wanted to clinch there because at Richmond he has not run well in the last 5 races here. That's 2,000 laps. Jeff Gordon has led just 22 of those 2,000 laps, and as Matt said, he has not led tonight. Kevin Harvick is the race leader, but Kyle Busch is all over him.
Boy, he drove that thing in deep, Kyle Busch did. Trying to get back up on the high side of the 29. He's going to drive on the outside, going into 1. I think Harvick is just going to let him have that for now.
So the Bare Naked Ladies run second on the racetrack. Wally's favorite group, Kyle Busch, the race leader at Richmond.
And he's about to take the lead away from Kyle Busch.
You
Well,
think?
he's going to try.
He's been trying for about 3 or 4 laps, hasn't he? Casey Kane in third is about a second behind this. Maybe 2 seconds.
Try to make him pass on the bottom, which right now the 29 car is better up top.
Allen?
While you're watching Kevin Harvick race for the lead, his teammate Jeff Burton is back in 8th place and 19 points to the good in the, I'm sorry, 26 points to the good in the championship for now. Todd Berrier, Harvick's crew chief, told me earlier today that if Jeff Burton needed 5 or 4 points that a position from Harvick would give him late in this race, the 29 car would give up even the race lead and drop back behind Burton in the closing laps to make sure he's in the championship. Berrier told me the
Sorry, AB, just 29 got in there pretty hot. Jumped on the brakes really hard to avoid the 5 car. Locked that left front up.
That was a double O from both of you.
Did we scare you?
Yeah, actually. I had to stop for a second. But just keep an eye and see. Burton right now is okay on his own, so that shouldn't be necessary. But if it becomes a problem late in the race, that's how far these teams will go to ensure they get 2 cars into the chase and not just 1.
Jeff Gordon alluded to the same thing yesterday during interviews in the garage area, that the other Hendrick cars could be a factor in the point situation. If Jeff Gordon needed points, you could see a situation where the Hendrick cars would help him out in a similar fashion that Alan just talked about. An update on the 8.
Well, guys, just to clarify, the rear brakes were not cut off to Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s car. They simply did the best they could to stop all the fluid from leaking. They have dialed in all the front brake he can stand, and even with doing that, his car is still loose. He said, I need some help chassis-wise. If we do get one more stop, the pedal is better. I'm not sure these brakes are going to last the whole race, Junior said.
This battle could last till the end of the race. Whoa, Kyle Busch. He's got Kevin Harvick chasing him. See how it plays out. 45 to go here at Richmond in the Chevy Rock and Roll 400 on TNT.
The 8 car.
You can just watch him. He's not getting into the corners because he's got a brake problem. He can't get the car slowed down. He just went a lap down to accomplish. Watch his left leg. See, he's pumping it. He's pumping the pedal.
The brake pedal.
The brake pedal. And what he's doing is the pedal is soft, and he's got to pump it to get the pressure up so the pads will be on the rotor. He'll start pumping going down the straightaway. He feels he's got the pedal. Now he can hit it. But even though he's got the brakes, he doesn't have the brakes like he would if he had 4 brakes. So he's struggling right now, Marty.
Absolutely, Wiley. And Steve Mill, one of the veteran members of DEI, has been coaching him the entire way, trying to calm him down, telling him, listen, you're fine in the big picture. Let's just do the best you can. He said, I know you're doing the best you can. Junior said, you got that right. I'm doing all I can do in here. He only has a quarter of a pedal when he goes into the corners. That's not a comforting feeling here in Richmond. He went the lap down. He's trying all kinds of things to drive the racetrack differently. It's not helping. Those brakes just will not hold up.
And we saw him working with the brake bias.
Right. The brake bias is, you've got a knob inside these cars that you can turn and put more front brake or more rear brake. The problem is right now he's got a lot of front brake in this car, and those rotors are red
in the corner,
hot.
but they look good down the straightaway. Look good when they come by me.
Talking about the rotors. Okay, the 8 has issues. How about the 11, Dave Burns?
He has issues, but so far they have not caused that engine to expire. Definitely running on 7 cylinders. That plug wire not allowing the spark plug to give its all, so 7 instead of 8. One thing to keep in mind, Bill, if he were to fail to finish right now, enough cars have, well, let me put it this way, he's not completely out of it. What happens to the rest of the guys in the top 10 at the end of this race would matter.
That's right. You can take a look at the championship standings now.
But you see, it's so doggone close from Junior back to Stewart. We're only talking about 50 points.
And you'd have to figure if Hamlin or Earnhardt fell out right now, it would be a crippling blow. Right now, Tony Stewart is the odd man out, Matt.
Helpless feeling down here in the 20 pit, Bill. 32 laps ago. All he can do is try to see if he can pick up a few more spots right now. The car not much better. He has been running in that 18th position, slowly knocking off a spot here and there. But Bill, he is starting to run out of time.
Just 31 laps to go. Kyle Busch is the race leader. We'll come back and take you to the checkered flag in the Chevy Rock and Roll 400 at Richmond.